Have you ever wondered how a nation can rise to great power, only to crumble in a few decades? In the grand tapestry of global history, such tales of ascension and downfall are woven repeatedly. One of the most significant examples is the German Empire, a nation that reached the zenith of power during the World Wars, only to experience a catastrophic fall. The events that unfolded during this period are not just stories of war and politics, but also of human resilience, ambition, and the indomitable spirit of a nation. This is the story of the rise and fall of the German Empire. World War I, a global conflict like no other, saw the German Empire at its peak. This war was a crucible of power, and the German Empire, under Kaiser Wilhelm II, embraced it with a fervour that was both formidable and ultimately tragic. Germany's initial successes were largely due to its well-prepared military strategies. The Schlieffen Plan, for instance, was a bold stroke of strategic genius, aiming to swiftly knock out France before turning its full attention to Russia. This plan worked to a degree, with the German forces sweeping through Belgium and into northern France. However, it was not a complete success, as it fell short of delivering the decisive blow it intended. Another key factor contributing to Germany's rise was its effective use of modern technology. The Great War was the first to see the use of aircraft, tanks and submarines on a large scale, and Germany in particular made excellent use of these new tools of war. The German U-boats, for example, were a significant threat to the Allied forces, disrupting supply lines and causing considerable damage. Germany also excelled in its use of trench warfare, a grim and punishing form of combat that came to define World War I. The Germans dug vast networks of tunnels and fortifications, often with multiple layers of defence. These trenches provided protection from enemy fire and allowed the Germans to launch surprise attacks, gaining a tactical advantage. But it wasn't just military prowess that fueled Germany's rise. The German Empire was also driven by a potent mix of nationalism and militarism, stoked by Kaiser Wilhelm II's aggressive foreign policy. The Kaiser's ambitions were grand, seeking not only to expand Germany's territories, but also to challenge the world dominance of the British Empire. But as we know, success often breeds complacency. The tide of World War I began to turn against Germany. The year was 1918, and Germany, despite its initial victories, was losing its grip on the war. The Battle of Amiens, fought in August that year, is often marked as the beginning of the end for the German Empire in World War I. The Allies, led by the French and British forces, launched a counter-offensive that pushed the German lines back, marking a significant turning point. This was not the only factor in Germany's downfall. The Allied blockade of Germany, which was in effect from the start of the war, had crippled the country's economy. Food and fuel shortages were rampant. Starvation and cold claimed more lives on the home front than the war did on the front lines. The blockade, coupled with the strain of war, led to civil unrest and strikes across the country, further destabilizing the empire. The entry of the United States into the war in 1917 provided fresh troops and resources to the Allied cause, tipping the balance further. The German High Command, realizing they could not match this, launched the Spring Offensive in 1918, a desperate attempt to end the war before American forces could fully deploy. This gamble failed, leading to significant German losses and no strategic gains. Internally, Germany was falling apart. The Kaiser, Wilhelm II, was losing control, and the people were losing faith in their leaders. The war had drained Germany, and the empire was on the brink of collapse. In November of 1918, the German Revolution began, leading to the abdication of Kaiser Wilhelm II and the end of the German Empire. The war ended with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles in 1919. The treaty laid the blame for the war squarely on Germany, imposing heavy reparations and territorial losses, further humiliating and crippling the once mighty German Empire. Thus, the first act of the German Empire's dramatic narrative concluded. Fast forward to World War II, the German Empire under a new banner was ready for a comeback. A new era had dawned, a time of darkness and despair, as a new leader emerged from the shadows. Adolf Hitler, the charismatic and cunning dictator, led Germany to rise from the ashes of World War I. His promise of a new world order infused the nation with a sense of hope and a thirst for power. Hitler capitalized on the economic depression and the dissatisfaction with the Treaty of Versailles. He built a formidable military machine, defying the restrictions set by the treaty. The world watched in apprehension as Germany began to reclaim lost territories and expand its borders. The invasion of Poland in 1939 marked the beginning of World War II. The Blitzkrieg tactics, or lightning war, allowed the German forces to rapidly conquer vast territories. The world watched in horror as countries fell one after another under the Nazi boots. Yet this was not a story of unchecked triumph. The turning point came with the invasion of the Soviet Union. Hitler underestimated the brutal Russian winter and the resilience of the Soviet people. The defeat at the Battle of Stalingrad marked the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany. Simultaneously, the atrocities committed by the regime were gradually coming to light. The Holocaust, the systematic genocide of 6 million Jews, shocked the world and galvanized the Allies to take decisive action. In the face of growing opposition, Hitler's dream of a 1,000-year Reich began to crumble. The Allied forces stormed the beaches of Normandy in 1944, marking the beginning of a fierce campaign to liberate Europe. The German forces found themselves stretched thin, battling on multiple fronts. The final blow came with the fall of Berlin in May 1945. Hitler's suicide symbolized the end of Nazi Germany and marked a dark chapter in human history. The German Empire, once the instigator of the most devastating war in human history, lay in ruins, defeated and divided. The German Empire once again found itself in ruins. In the aftermath of World War II, Germany faced a long and arduous journey of rebuilding. The nation was divided physically and ideologically into East and West. The East became a socialist state under Soviet influence, while the West aligned with the democratic ideals of the Allies. This division was the manifestation of the Cold War tensions, symbolized most notably by the Berlin Wall. The struggle wasn't just political. The country had to recover from the devastating physical destruction of war, a shattered economy, and a society torn apart by the atrocities committed during the Holocaust. It was a Herculean task, but the Germans were determined to rise from the ashes. In 1990, after nearly half a century of division, the Berlin Wall fell. East and West Germany were reunified, marking the end of the Cold War. This reunification wasn't without its challenges, as the two halves had developed different cultures, economies, and political systems. Yet they managed to integrate, spurred on by the collective desire for peace, unity, and prosperity. Fast forward to today, and Germany stands as a testament to resilience and recovery. It has transformed into a global powerhouse, leading in fields such as technology, manufacturing, and renewable energy. Its political system, rooted in democracy and human rights, has become a model for many nations. However, the lessons of the past are not forgotten. Germany has taken a path of remembrance, ensuring that the horrors of the Holocaust are never repeated. Laws against hate speech and Nazi symbols are strictly enforced, while Holocaust education is mandatory in schools. The nation's journey from the ashes of war to a beacon of stability and prosperity showcases the power of resilience, the importance of learning from history, and the potential of human spirit to rebuild and move forward. The German Empire's story serves as a stark reminder of the fleeting nature of power and the enduring strength of resilience. So, what can we take away from the rise and fall of the German Empire? The tale of the German Empire is a powerful reminder of the cyclical nature of history, from its rise to power in World War I to its subsequent fall, and then again its rise and fall during World War II. It's a potent example of how power dynamics can shift dramatically. The journey of post-war Germany to the present day is a testament to resilience and transformation. It's a story of how a nation can rise from the ashes, rebuild and redefine itself. History, after all, is not just about remembering the past, but learning from it.